News just came out that the Packers have decided to sign veteran running back Kenyan Drake. It came out here from Aaron Wilson in the past 15 or so minutes saying Packers signing Kenyan Drake. So this is an interesting move. The Packers signing a veteran running back, a running back who had a lot of productive years in his career. He definitely is on the later end of his career, almost 30 years old, currently 29. He has bounced around from a few different teams this season, was signed with the Colts back in August, didn't make their final roster, signed back with Baltimore when they had some injuries, played in 2 games, had 1 attempt for 0 yards and 2 receptions for 31 yards. And most recently, he was signed to the Browns practice squad on October 31st and then released on November 28th. And so when we look at the Packers running back situation, Aaron Jones has missed the past 2 games with that MCL sprain, and we don't know how much longer he's going to be out. I would imagine he'll be back in the next game or 2, because if he was going to miss 4 games, the Packers could have put him on IR. Maybe they were just hopeful, though, that he would be ready to return. Does this signal that Aaron Jones could be taking a few more weeks to come back? Potentially. But the Packers clearly see they want to add some more running back depth here. And at least in the past, Kenyan Drake did have some success. If you look here at his career, came into the league in 2016, was a 3rd-round pick, spent his first few years in Miami with the Dolphins. Then he goes to the Arizona Cardinals 2020, has his best year, 955 rushing yards and 10 touchdowns. 2021 played for the Raiders, had 254 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. Last season, 2022, had 482 rush yards and 4 touchdowns. And then this season, he has no rushing yards so far on only 1 attempt. And so he is definitely a player in the later part of his career. But at least if you look back at last season, 2022, he was still somewhat productive. I looked at his highlights, was watching some from his time with the Ravens last year, and you could still see his speed, his shiftiness, probably more of a speedier back than a guy like A.J. Dillon. And I think the past few weeks we've seen A.J. Dillon play a lot better. He's been a lot more effective than he was earlier in the season, and that's really great for him considering it is a contract year, and I think he's giving the Packers some reasons to potentially consider bringing him back, considering how he's played both in the running game and in the passing game. And so I'm curious to see what happens here with Kenyan Drake, because let's say if Aaron Jones doesn't come back in the next few games, maybe the Packers decide to put Kenyan Drake on this 53-man roster. I'm not sure if this is a roster signing or a practice squad signing, and they'll elevate him. We'll have to see there. I'm guessing those details will come out sometime soon. But we still have James Robinson on the practice squad as well as Ellis Merriweather. The Packers did elevate James Robinson for the past week's game against the Chiefs, and he had 1 carry. And then Patrick Taylor, who was the second running back in that game, had 2 carries for 29 yards. But I think it's at least an interesting signing. It makes you get a little excited. When I saw the news, I thought, okay, why not? Might as well. He has bounced around from teams this year, which makes me think he probably doesn't have it quite the way he used to early in his career. If he didn't make the Colts' final roster, he was released by the Browns practice squad. There's probably some issues there, or he's not playing at the level he once did, or a team would have held on to him. But maybe the Packers get lucky and have a guy come in here who could see some snaps and be productive like he once used to be. I don't see a reason not to make this a kind of signing like this when you have so many injuries at running back. But that is the news for today. If you want more Packers content, feel free to subscribe down below.